and TMC's Mahua Moitra, who was expelled from Lok Sabha in the wake of cash for query allegations, is seeking re-election from Krishnanagar in West Bengal. Therefore, the big fights in this phase are in Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Bengal and more so in Andhra Pradesh, where Jagan Mohan Reddy of YSRCP is locked in a three-way fight with the Congress and the NDA comprising Chandrababu Naidu, BJP and Pawan Kalyan's Janasena party. Let's get a perspective on what is going to really, how do the experts look at this particular phase of electioneering. K.V. Prasad, senior journalist who's an expert on Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, has joined us. And of course, Subir Bhaumik, author and senior journalist, will focus on the eastern states, maybe West Bengal and Odisha. Joined To Bhattacharya, senior journalist, is an expert, of course, and a veteran when it comes to elections and politics in India. And so does Ajit K. Jha, senior journalist, who shall also focus on what really means for all the star candidates as well as all the states going to polls in this phase. Let me now start with Ajit K. Jha. Ajit, tell me something. This is a very, very important phase as we inch closer and closer to the conclusion of this extremely important election. How do you look at, in retrospect, whatever has gone on in the earlier phases? How do you look at it, Ajit?
See, the first two phases, first phase dominated by Tamil Nadu, second phase dominated by Kerala, right? Third phase is where the BJP strongholds were being voted on, which is Gujarat and, Maharashtra, Karnataka, UP. This phase, it's basically the regional parties, right? Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, parts of Odisha, even Bengal. The rest of the places where the elections are going on, which is Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, this belt and Maharashtra, this is basically the BJP stronghold again. The BJP is basically defending almost about 49 seats in this entire phase. And I think if the turnout is high, this will be almost like the third phase, other than the fact that the phase is, again, as I said, the main strength of this phase is Andhra and Telangana. But in Andhra, the BJP is it seems at this moment in the Lok Sabha at least, on the winning side. The triple combination of the BJP, TDP and a local party, all three together seems to be fighting and winning, especially given the strong anti-incumbency against YSRCP. What seems to be happening is that in the rural areas where Jagan has done a lot of welfare benefits in the countryside, that might move towards Jagan, YSRCP. But in the urban areas, largely, where the development has not taken place as well as it used to be under TDP at one time, there I think the vote is shifting in favor of the alliance.
Okay, hold your thought there. Ajit, I'll come back to you. K.V. Prasad, Ajit just spoke about Andhra Pradesh. Do you concur with what he says? Because look, apart from everything else, yes, there is anti-incumbency so far as Jagan is concerned. But, one of the shows, and I did it, and, look at it, the double speak of it, the BJP, the Janasena, which is Pawan Kalyan, the superstar, and the Chandrababu Naidu's TDP, they are all together. But there seems to be a lot of dichotomy. First, when the election manifesto was being released by the Janasena and Chandrababu Naidu, BJP was missing from action. We saw Siddharth Nath Singh there. But then people saw that as a very kind of, diluted presence. Number two, the 4% reservation for Muslims, Mr. Prasad. On the one hand, the BJP is going hammer and tongs, no 4% reservation. On the other hand, Babu that day said that we will give it. Do you think that it is as strong a fortification as Ajit is trying to make out? Because I see a lot of chinks in their armor, Mr. Prasad.
See, two things that what Mr. Jha spoke is, one thing is clear that the alliance, which is the BJP, Shiv Sena, Janasena, TDP and BJP, is the caste, the Kamma Kapu, which comes through TDP and Janasena. So the BJP, with its own share of BJP's presence in Andhra per se, is not so high. So the BJP essentially is taking taking advantage of the current ground situation. Yes, the welfare scheme is something which need to watch, because Jagan himself is banking upon this, and if you listen to his campaigning, it has been on that particular point. He says, he's telling the people, he speaks them in Telugu, you know what benefits you have got. And interestingly, so this women voters, in fact, somewhere I was reading this point that in many of the seats, both in Telangana and Andhra, the women voters are more in numbers as compared to the men vote, some seats. So that's going to be an interesting battle to watch when you actually start looking things at micro level. But yes, on the macro level, it looks that the BJP combination with TDP and Janasena is in a formidable position to challenge YSRCP, who of course battles, as I said, both incumbency and also the fact that there is allegations that he has been inaccessible, something in the neighboring state of Telangana cost dear to the BRS.
All right, I think it's time for me to take a break, and once I take a break, then of course I will go to the two experts, Jayanto Bhattacharya as well as Shubir Bhaumik. Just wait up for me. I'm coming back in a jiffy, and lots of political news. Phase 4 of the elections, extremely important, of course.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Can the Trinamool candidate from Baharampur hit the ball out of the park?
50-60 दिन बहुत ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ, उससे पहले ही काम दिखने स्टार्ट हो जाएंगे.
Pitted opposite Pathan in Team BJP is Dr. Nirmal Kumar Saha.
The fight is not Adit Chaudhary and Nirmal Saha. The fight between Modi versus Rahul Gandhi.
Yusuf Pathan and Nirmal Saha, two professionals who have switched to politics, are taking on Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Can one of the first-time politicians end his winning streak?
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
There's a new video around what deepfake can do.
We had seen a trailer of this a few days back.
Voters should not be only on the platform.
We'll have to wait and see how those play out.
Hindenburg's report cannot be taken as gospel of truth.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
We are focusing on phase 4 of the elections, and reports are coming in that violence has been reported in Guntur as Senali MLA Shivakumar slapped a voter for objecting to him jumping the queue. Hey! All right, the voter also slapped the MLA back, leading to a major commotion in the booth, as you can see on your screens right now. Watch it yet again. Violence reported from Guntur. Hey! Hey! You saw those visuals in Guntur where the Tenali MLA, Tenali Ram, you must have all heard, the way he slapped somebody because the voter objected that please do not jump the queue. But the power of the politician, let me go to Joynto Bhattacharya. Joynto, what a pity. All the security personnel, the way the election machinery is put into, use in our country, it is phenomenal. The world over we are seen as an example. What do you make of this? I mean, this is clearly Gundaism. Would you concede?
Yes, indeed. Sudha, we have seen on the one hand, there are many politicians and VIPs who prefer to stand in queue and cast their vote. And there are some that who are in a hurry to go to the front and cast their vote as soon as possible. Now, you raised a very pertinent question about the spread of our democracy and the people who are associated with it. Look at the number of voters in this particular phase of election. I think it would be about the same size as the population of Bangladesh, perhaps, and spread over 7 different phases. Obviously, it's a huge machinery that is the election commission is going through it, and no one is fond of them, in fact. Especially the opposition forever has been finding faults with either the election commission or the EVM. But yeah, talking about this arrogancy or talking about what I started with answering your question, Sudha, this arrogancy or this high-handedness has always been there. But it is the power that they have to understand comes from the people themselves. So perhaps it could have augured well that if he did not have the time to stand in a queue, perhaps request the person there that he has some work, he has to go and visit other constituencies or polling booths or whatever it may be, and could have taken his turn maybe in front of the queue.
Right, and let me go to Shubir Bhaumik. Shubir Bhaumik, you see these visuals on your screen. Of course, it's from Guntur in Andhra Pradesh, where a Tenali MLA has slapped a voter, and of course the voter was saying, please do not jump the queue, and the voter slapped him back. So it's like tit for tat. Shubir Bhaumik, considering you're an author and senior journalist who majorly focuses on eastern states, violence so far as West Bengal is concerned has taken center focus, for a long time. Do you think this time around the focus will be on violence, because every possible security personnel and the bodies, as it were, are very, very nervous about curtailing the violence in West Bengal? Shubir Bhaumik.
So the violence is part of the Bengali political culture. Don't you ever forget that even Subhash Bose used muscle power to win elections against Jyotindra Mohan Sengupta way back in the 1920s, Calcutta Corporation election. So what we have seen in West Bengal since my student days in 1971, Jyoti Basu losing by 40,000 votes in Baranagar. We've seen rigging, we have seen scientific rigging, we have seen not so scientific rigging based on more brazen muscle power, and we now see other tactics like obstruction, deliberate delay causing in the queues so that opposition, voters get pissed off, especially, floating voters. So Bengal, the statecraft of management of elections in violent not so violent and very violent ways is part of the political culture.
Sorry,
we worship Ma Kali.
No, but you can't. I'm so sorry. You're a Bengali, I'm not. But I don't think that violence can be part of a culture that has given us Gitanjali, that has given us wonderful songs, that has given us, D.L. Roy's music. It's given us lots of literature. So I think that it is actually cocking a snook and being very sarcastic towards the security forces who do all which is in their strength to see that the common people are safe. I'm going to take a break right now. When I come back, our focus will be on a star candidate from Hyderabad, Madhavi Lata, and then I go to Mr. Prasad and Ajit Jha.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Golf as a game, it is closest to the game that you call life.
You've got to use your mind. You cannot lose it.
The sharpest person is one who understands his limitations.
खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा बंदे से पूछे कि तेरी रजा क्या है.
You might have a bad break after a good shot, might have a good break after a bad shot, but the fact remains, you got to play the ball from where it lies.
Watch Jeev Milkha Singh on Duologue with Barun Das, streaming on News9+.
America, there is an inheritance tax. In India, you don't have that.
कांग्रेस की लूट जिंदगी के साथ भी और जिंदगी के बाद भी.
Our manifesto combines ideology with effective administration with delivery that is long overdue.
Rahul Gandhi is talking about redistribution of wealth. These are the things people are alert to. They want to know, what does Congress say when you say redistribute wealth?
Welcome back. You're watching News9 Live, and like I said, phase 4 of electioneering in India and many star candidates today punting on what their future will be. BJP candidate from Hyderabad, for instance, Madhavi Lata, visited a polling booth in the constituency. She was seen scrutinizing the identity of the voters who were in the booth. Madhavi Lata also allegedly asked for the Aadhaar card of the voters. Is it even fair? Let me go to the experts and speak to them about it. Mr. Prasad, there we have Madhavi Lata, and Mr. Prasad, of course, let's listen to what Madhavi Lata says and then I come back to you.
ये लोग ना कुछ ज्यादा ही होशियार कर रहे हैं. 500 मीटर के दूर पे बिना कोई सिंबल के हमारे एजेंट्स बैठकर छोटा सा स्लिप्स दे रहे थे. 500 मीटर पोलिंग बूथ से दूर होना बोल के ज्यादती करके लेके आए हैं. यहाँ का पुलिस का जुल्म है हमारे ऊपर. भैया मैं कैंडिडेट हूँ और एज पर लॉ कैंडिडेट हैज अ राइट टू चेक द आइडेंटिटी कार्ड with the face, without the face mask. I'm not a male, I'm a female, and with lot of humbleness, I've only requested them, can I please see and verify with the ID card? And if somebody wants to make a big issue out of it, that means that he's scared of it. ये तो 38 है. अब 38 पे कहाँ है? उठाइए आप. ये कौन है? आप कौन है? आपका दूसरा आधार कार्ड है आपका? ये चल. पहले तो मैं इससे कितने साल पहले बना फिल्म ये? मेरे को 38 इंटी या मेरे को 44 इंटी वयसु
మేడం అర్ధగంట అయిందండి ఇలా ఉన్నాక డిలీట్ అయిందని చెప్పి ఎలబోరేషన్
ఉందా
ఉంది డిలీట్ అయిపోయింది అమ్మ కాంటాక్ట్ చేశాను
నేను వెళ్ళి చూసాను మేడం డిలీట్ అయింది
మళ్ళీ చేసిన ఫ్రెండ్
ఉంది ఈడనే ఉంది
లేదని చెప్తున్నాను మేడం
ఇది తీసుకొని ఇంటి ఫైండ్ అవుట్ అవ్వదు దీని ఫోటో తీసుకోండి ఇది కనుక్కోవాలి
మేడం చెక్ చేస్తున్నాను
మేడం ఇంతమంది అడిగితే తీయాలని చెప్పి
ఒక్క నిమిషం అమ్మా ఎక్కడి నుంచి కదా గవర్నమెంట్ నుంచి కదా ముందు నేనే నమ్మ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి నువ్వు
There you saw Madhavi Lata, and a candidate who's giving a kind of challenging Owaisi who's known to be ruling the constituencies in Hyderabad. She's actually checking the Aadhaar card and the identities of the voters who've come to vote. Let me go to Mr. Prasad. Mr. Prasad, I have not seen this. Of course, I have seen, witnessed elections over the years, but then that's most about booth capturing, violence, almost kidnapping. But I wonder if you could see Madhavi Lata, where she is asking for the Aadhaar cards, asking some women to remove the veil and checking this. I mean, do you think that, would you know if this is even allowed? Does it also give you a sense that she's rather nervous about it?
Well, candidates are allowed access inside the polling booths, so inside the polling station, just to kind of see for themselves that the process is fair and is being carried in a free and fair manner. To that extent, yes. And actually, there are authorized polling agents who are allowed to do a certain task, as the Election Commission guidelines are very clear. Now, in this case, quite possible. I mean, I don't recall any such instance of earlier elections where such reports may have come in, where the candidate personally goes and ascertains the validity of the voter. Now, as per law, you cannot demand an Aadhaar because you have 6 or 8 ID cards through which you can convince the polling officer that the person concerned is you, who has come to the polling station and cast a vote. So that being said, at best, I think the candidate can, if there are any discrepancies, file a complaint with the election booth officer whoever is present are there. So these are systems in which are in place because a situation as that you have been just showing, it kind of leads to a different kind of interpretation, which is avoidable around the time of elections because we are talking of the integrity of the process. So that's where I would take it up.
Mr. Prasad, you pretty much said what I said. We haven't seen this. But then who knows? Maybe what she knows what she's doing. I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about West Bengal and Bihar. First, I shall go to Ajit Keja. See you on the other side.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
Film and entertainment is definitely one of the levers for any country to build its brand.
We are getting global. I feel that we're just on the takeoff.
More and more films are becoming language agnostic.
Content is a universal language.
There's one audience in the world.
Absolutely. End of the day, we all are like brothers who have mutual respect for each other from a different land.
Watch Allu Arjun on Duologue with Barundas. Streaming on News9 Plus.
वो पूछते हैं कि हम कौन है गालिब, तुम बतलाओ कि हम बतलाएं क्या।
I told him, you do what you think is best. I will not insist.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
All right, let me go to Ajit Jha. Ajit Jha, I want you to focus a bit on Odisha. Very, very interesting state, of course. It's going to polls. I want to ask you that in the past few days, if you see, Naveen Patnaik has actually trained his guns on Mr. Modi and spoken about the pride that he has as somebody who's from Odisha. BJP has no chance, or would you say that is really running away too quickly and too soon?
Odisha is having both Lok Sabha elections and assembly polls. It seems that, remember, the chief minister has been a chief minister for the last 24, 25 years, right? And and the fact that now he basically relies on bureaucrats, that has, and they are from Tamil Nadu, two of them, in fact. So that has come up, that has generated both within, among Odiyas and in general, a certain kind of, anti-incumbency. And that is somehow helping BJP in the Lok Sabha elections, I would say. Remember, in 2019, they had won 8 seats, which was 6 seats more than 2014. So that was a great leg up. Now, in this election, one is expecting the BJP to do rather well in Odisha, as I pointed out in the Lok Sabha. Earlier, if you remember, both the parties were trying a kind of friendly sort of match, right, together. Because the idea was that Lok Sabha, BJP will contest 14 seats, and in the assembly, the BJD will get the advantage. So that seems to be, in a way, working out. And now they seem to have become enemies. In fact, I have never seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi attack Naveen Babu in this manner. In the past, Naveen Patnaik has always been an ally.
Right.
But such is the fierceness of the competition
Absolutely.
this time.
And Ajit, you spoke about bureaucrats. Now, in an exclusive conversation with News9's Kartikeya Sharma, my colleague, BJD leader, and the man behind Odisha's 5T initiative, VK Pandian, shares his thoughts on an emotionally charged campaign, challenging Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to resign active politics if either of their parties fail to form the state government in the month of June. Take a look.
This election you have been campaigning very emotionally. You recently made a statement saying that you'll take sannyas. Why?
I said that in case I made an open challenge to Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, the Union Minister, because he has been telling that there is a Hawa in favor of BJP. They are spreading lies that they are having a Hawa in favor of BJP. So I said that, okay, if you have a Hawa, then you should be forming government. I am saying there is a Naveen Hawa in the air. People are very fond of Naveen Babu and they are going to give him a huge majority, 3/4 majority. So I make a challenge with you that Naveen Babu is going to get 3/4 majority and he will swear in on 9th June from 11:30 to 1 p.m. So this is my statement. And if this won't happen, I'll resign from politics. You are saying that you are coming back to, you are getting into government. So will you accept my challenge? I will quit if Naveen Babu won't become CM. Will you do the same thing if BJP won't go to power? That is my statement.
All right, you can catch that interview on News9 Live at several times. Don't miss it. It's one of the most honest and very informative interview. Let me go to Jointo, my friend. Jointo, West Bengal this time around, corruption doesn't seem to be an issue at all. This whole slogan of Bangla Birodhi Der Visarjon, which means that, immersion of those opposed to Bengal, do you think it has even some resonance amongst people? Do you think Sandesh Khali is something which will impact the elections? Where is Bengal headed? Jointo.
So that first talking about this particular phase, I think there are three issues that will find a mention. Number one is the CAA. If you see in this phase and the next, the constituencies that are going to polls, there are several what we call the Motua community. The Motuas are basically scheduled caste, and the community comprises perhaps the second most highest composition of scheduled caste in the state. And they are spread across several districts like the Chobbish Pargana, that is north and south both, then Nodia, of course. Now, Nodia, of course, we know that Krishnanagar, which you mentioned earlier, Moa Moitro, who's contesting after being expelled from the Lok Sabha on alleged cash for question scam, is trying once again. In the the constituency close by, that was won by the BJP. That also has significant Motua voters. Now, the surprising part is in Bardhaman Purbo, that is East Bardhaman, where there is not that many Motua, the BJP candidate, he is a representative of the Motua, and he's talking about the benefits from the CAA, despite the fact that the TMC has many times pointed out that the Motua community, which is about, I think, about 3 crores spread across West Bengal, where half of them are already voters. And not only that, a member of that community is also a Union Minister of State at the center. So taking all these things, I think CAA, whether it has been, how much accepted it has been among this particular community, because they have come from the erstwhile East Pakistan after the division of Bengal. So they have been trying for citizenship for quite a long time. Number two, the part you mentioned reading in Bengali, it is partly, come from the allegations from the Trinamool Congress about outsiders. Now, interestingly, the so-called outsiders in this particular election are all three of them are contesting in this particular phase. That is from Bardhaman Durgapur, we have Kirti Azad. From Asansol, we have Shatrughan Sinha. And of course, you were talking about it earlier also, we have Yusuf Pathan.
Yes.
Now, where Yusuf Pathan is contesting right now, that's kind of a political do or die for Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. He has represented that seat, Baharampur, for the last
but then he's on safe wicket, would you say? Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, he's somebody who's seen as a stalwart, or you think, please do not be so confident about Adhir Babu?
Sudha, I don't think even Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary himself is very confident this time. That is what I read, yes. The reason being that Yusuf Pathan, he has been going to several sports events or spread all over the constituency, number one. Number two, the BJP candidate, he has been practicing medicine for a long time in that particular area. Although he's from, I think he passed out of Chandigarh, but he has been practicing for a long time there. And as far as I know, that it doesn't make any difference about which community or which religion his patients are from. And many a time he has been treating them for free. So we cannot take it for granted. And if you see, Sudha, in the last 3 Lok Sabha elections, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary's difference, that is the margin of vote from the runner-up, has been gradually decreasing. So these two things, that is the opponents. Number two, because Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has a very good base among the minorities in his constituency. Yusuf Pathan, being that personality that he is not usually, Hindi-speaking candidates are not usually accepted by that community in West Bengal. But he has somehow found a foothold. So all these things put together...
Yeah, but I find a bit of a hypocrisy there. Jointo, you said very well, Yusuf Pathan is a very well world-renowned sportsperson, a cricketer, etc., etc. But when the TMC speaks about Bangla Birodhi Der Visarjon, then it's speaking in a folk tongue. Shubir Bhaumik, come in here. I think that this is very, very strange. you know, you can mock someone who doesn't speak Bangla with the proper accent and says, okay, you're speaking it in Hindi accent, but your candidate himself is seen to be an outsider. What is going on there? It seems like it's a confused kind of an election, Mr. Bhaumik.
It's not confusing. That's what I tried to make out in my previous interaction with you. That what you said, you know, DL Roy, Netaji, I'm a proud Bengali, but the fact of the local political culture is the preponderance of violence. Similarly, this whole talk of outsider. Now, Trinamool seems to have made insiders out of outsiders. Shatrughan is contesting from their ticket, so is Yusuf Pathan. So who is an outsider, who is an insider? In Bengal, actually, there is no concept of outsider. We made Mother Teresa our own, we made Gurbakh Singh our own, and the list is long. So this new thing about insider, outsider, you know, is something that the TMC has thrown up, basically to keep or counter-check the Bharatiya Janata Party. The real issue, another thing I need to point out, is corruption is an issue in this election, Sudha. You know, the BJP is making a huge deal out of the teacher employment scam in which Partha Chatterjee, the education minister, has landed in jail along with his girlfriend. And the BJP is also trying to make much out of the scam, you know, the cash for query scam against Mahua. Whereas Mahua is hitting back in a big way, you know, reflecting on the coal scam involving Adani and the BJP. So in this election, definitely corruption is an issue. BJP is playing it in one direction. Obviously, they are focusing on Trinamool corruption, and the Trinamool people like Mahua, who is actually very important for Mamata Banerjee because of her performance in parliament. But she is one person who the BJP wants out at any cost, especially Mr. Adani.
All right.
So, you know, this is a story of contradictions.
All right. I'm running out of time. Let me go to Ajit Keja. Ajit Keja, you know, I wish we had more time, but I want you to really weigh in on, do you think, like most experts are saying, this election is curtains for Nitish Babu? The strength that he had, that he could stand on his own, that's now come to naught. It's over. No more Sushasan, Kushasan. He's just over.
Well, let me put it this way. I mean, obviously, there is a decline in stature. The sheen of Nitish Babu is gone. He used to be Suhasan Babu. Now he is obviously Paltu Babu. Now, that is a big risk that the BJP took. Because remember, the JDU has got 16 seats out of 40. Now, if they don't win, let's say half of them, as most people predict this time, then overall NDA figures, which was 39 out of 40 in 2019, will end up, you know, minus about, let's say, 10 seats. That will go in the overall NDA kitty down, right? So in a way, allying with Nitish Kumar is a calculated risk by BJP. But they probably thought that if Nitish and Lalu continues, and if Nitish is an important member of the India bloc, then the India bloc might be a bigger challenger to the BJP. But what the Congress did, ironically, what Rahul Gandhi did, took Nitish Kumar's agenda of Mandal, of caste survey, connected it with the constitution and reservation. And today, in fact, Rahul Gandhi has taken the entire agenda of Nitish Kumar and seems to be moving up and becoming a bigger challenger for the BJP than he was, let's say, a month or two ago. So in a way, the election is not exactly 180 degrees turned, but the fact that the polling rate, the turnout rate is low, the fact that all the sort of share market is going up and down, there is a certain uncertainty now about the final verdict, and that is partly coming from some of the issues that we've been discussing, as you said, Nitish Kumar, some of the other allies of the BJP, for example, in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, both the Shinde faction and the Ajit Pawar faction are not doing so well. The BJP seems to be doing okay, and it's a similar picture all around the country. So,
all right. Okay. Thanks are due to all my guests. But the whole day long, we're going to be focusing on this very, very significant phase of elections. So don't go anywhere. Make this your destination. You're watching News9 Live. Thanks very much, Mr. KV Prasad. Thank you so much, Shubir Bhaumik. Thank you, Jointo. And thanks, Ajit Keja, for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you indeed. And now let's look at all the political reactions that we've been getting the whole day long since early morning. Take a look.
If I've seen the governance, and if you think that you have benefited from this governance, then vote for that governance which would lead to a brighter future.
Good governance, or you want to have a bright future, you have to go and vote. Then only you will have a right to demand. Today I am saying, I have seen the crowd. Never in my life or in my political career I have seen this type of crowds. It is an indication people are willing to vote, and also they wanted to vote by any choice. And again, from America all the way they have come to vote. All over the country, Bombay, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, everywhere people have come. Even vegetable vendors, even labor, they have come with their own expenditure.
So you think it's anti-incumbency, sir?
No, I am saying they want to protect democracy, they want to protect their future.
It is the responsibility of the police force to maintain the queues, and there is no chaotic situation which will prevail at the polling stations. The police authorities have miserably failed at the place where I have come, exercised my vote, and they are trying to regulate, and they are asking for the time to regulate the queues and restore the order. Thank you.
Well, we are very confident, we are very hopeful also that we'll do well. In fact, our best tally was 11. This time we are hoping to better it. Only because I think the big man who cheated India 10 years ago has now been completely outed. People have realized the mistake they've made. And the small man here who's cheated us 5 months ago in Telangana also has been outed. And I hope that people will come back and vote for BRS and KCR. Prime Minister campaigns across the country, but the fact is he's been, dishing out stepmotherly treatment to Telangana for the last 10 years. Not a single educational institution, not a single hospital, not a single paisa when Hyderabad was flooded. मैं प्रधानमंत्री से यही कहूँगा कि आप भगवान राम की बहुत बात करते रहते हो. भगवान राम ने कहा था कि आप राजधर्म पालन करो, हर किसी को एक ही तरह देखो. आप गुजरात के प्रधानमंत्री नहीं हो सिर्फ, आप प्रधानमंत्री हो पूरे देश के. जब हैदराबाद में बाढ़ आया तो यहाँ पे भी पैसा देना था, जैसा आपने गुजरात में 1000 करोड़ दिया. तो इसलिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से कहना चाहता हूँ, राजधर्म का पालन कीजिए और तब जाके आपको लोगों की मत मिलेगी. I think all of us need to understand as citizens that we get to choose the government that we want. और कैसी गवर्नमेंट चाहिए आप चुन लो, ठीक से फैसला कर लो, और जिस दिन मत देना उस दिन अगर आप नहीं बाहर निकलोगे तो ये तो सरासर गलत है. तो पहले आप बाहर आइए, वोट में पार्टिसिपेट करिए और वोट दीजिए.
Please cast your vote responsibly. Firstly, I would like to tell I am not politically aligned with any party. నాకు official గా ఏ పార్టీతో సంబంధం లేదు. I am neutral to all parties.
I only have to tell to all the voters that it is a responsibility of every citizen that they need to go out to vote, because the vote brings two changes. One, a new change and development towards themselves and their families. And the other one is, it gives an opportunity to change the lives of downtrodden, the lives of Dalits, the lives of poor, and the lives of those every old-aged individuals or people who have been abandoned. So the vote is the most, I would say, precious social work, along with a selfish desire to move on towards the development. So I would say, you may not have money, but if you have vote, then you have contributed to the nation to go towards Vikasat Bharat. And the best thing that all of you have to understand is, सबका साथ में ही विकास है, अलग-अलग जीने में विकास नहीं है.
बिल्कुल आज बहुत खुशी की बात है. मैं जब 6:50 पे मैं पहुंचा हूं, वोटर्स भी मेरे साथ बहुत लोग स्वयं आए हैं. एक थोड़ा ईवीएम का प्रॉब्लम था, वो टेक्निकल होगा, वो ह्यूमन एरर होगा, मगर ये प्रजातंत्र का देश है, ऐसे सब कुछ छोटे छोटे इंसिडेंट्स होते रहते हैं. मगर आज मैं उड़ डाला हूँ हमारे परिवार के साथ.
Election cannot be the same as what it was
5 years ago. The challenges are different, the issues are different, and of course this is a very important historical parliamentary election in our country. And the issues are not what they were in 2019. It is completely different issues, completely different objective, and people also have a different understanding and what they want for this country as compared to 2019.
Everybody has to use the right of their vote. I think it's a good message which we need to pass on to the coming generations.
No, so I would like to say, I mean, every time I've been telling, this time also, the new emerging voters are coming up. So I do request them, make use of your power of vote. So vote అన్నది మన హక్కే కాదు, ఓటు వినియోగించుకోవడం మన బాధ్యత అని కూడా నేను చెప్తాను. సో ప్రతి ఒక్కరు వినియోగించుకోవాలి. అప్పుడే సరైన నాయకులు వస్తారు, సరైన ప్రభుత్వాలు ఏర్పడతాయి, సరైన అభివృద్ధి జరుగుతుంది. That's the reason people like us, we are requesting and appealing, please do come and make use of your vote power.
You have to vote because you are in democracy.
So you came from Dubai, so you came here to just for polling?
No. I came back home.
मैं आज वोट डाल के आया हूँ. मैं मलकायरी प्रजा को मैं विनम्र रूप से मैं विज्ञप्ति कर रहा हूँ. हर एक वोटर वोट डालना जरूरी है. देश रक्षण के लिए, देश आगे बढ़ने के लिए, देश पुरोगमन के लिए सभी लोग वोट डाल के फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार जो नारा उठाया था वो नारा फुलफिल करने में प्रजा ने मोदी जी को आशीर्वाद देना है और मेरे को भी आशीर्वाद देना बोल के मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है.
आज उत्तर प्रदेश की 96 सीटों, देश की 96 सीटों पर मतदान हो रहा है. पहले तीन चरणों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में भारी मतदान हुआ. भारतीय जनता पार्टी बहुत बड़ी पैमाने पर बढ़त बनाए हुए और आज ये चौथा चरण है. चौथे चरण में जो रुझान देखने को मिला है जनता के मनोमस्तिष्क का, जिस प्रकार से जनता की आवाज़ आ रही है, उसके अनुसार बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर इस चौथे चरण में भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी और सहयोगी दल जीतेंगे.
People of India and Uttar Pradesh and today in Shahjahanpur are coming out and voting for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, his third term, and the track record that has been here for 10 years of his work. It is everyone to see, and on that basis the people are supporting the Bharatiya Janata Party, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and our local candidate of Shahjahanpur, Arun Sagar.
Brought to you by We God, co-powered by Sensodyne, associate sponsor Ultratech Cement, and Vimal, Bolo Zuma Kesari.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Start with the end in mind. You need to know where you want to reach. Every morning that we wake up, we are exercising our choice. The destiny is decided. The results are known that I'm going to win. Life of a goalkeeper is something which has always intrigued me. When you come into a stadium, this is the highest level of pressure. When I set out to do something, I decide in my mind that failure is not an option.
What you feel very strongly about, those are the stories to tell.
I have a mind which is absolutely restless. Mind and body are entangled sensations. That brings me back to golf. It's an amazing game.
This is not a perfect game. You only learn from them.
If you have a formula to a success, then you can replicate it.
I feel this is my first step. I'm starting now.
Winner is first born in the mind. I think, therefore I am. We are all about our mind.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
A soldier was killed and 4 injured when terrorists ambushed a convoy of the Indian Air Force in Poonch on May 4th. This is the 3rd terrorist attack in 2024 in the Rajouri-Poonch region. Both districts are in the Pir Panjal Valley. There have been 7 attacks in the past year in a 120-kilometer range around the Poonch-Rajouri region. The border is approximately 30 kilometers away from both districts. So why is militancy moving south of Pir Panjal? News9 Plus decodes. In 2023, India lost 20 soldiers in these districts. 25 terrorists were killed in the same year. More attacks have occurred in rural parts, wooded areas, and inaccessible terrain. This is unlike earlier when militancy was focused on urban areas. This is primarily because the terrorists are not finding much headway in the valley itself, say experts. Terrorists can manage a better foothold in this area. This is because of the proximity of Rajouri and Poonch to the LOC, the number of infiltration routes, the forested area that's full of caves, the difficult terrain, limited means of communication, and numerous places where ambushes can take place. But why are terrorists shifting their strategy? The aim is to keep militancy and hybrid warfare